Biggest thing in Los Angeles and liberal communities is detoxing. At least they're acknowledging they're toxic. That's the one thing to think about. The reason they need to be detoxed, Robert, is they're so filthy mentally and spiritually that they must be detoxed on a daily basis. That's right, but I'm saying I'd go a step further and I would legalize heroin. I would think about legalizing heroin enemas. Let's say start only in Beverly Hills, in that area only. And think of the revenue. I mean, think of which you come up to a government clinic. Now, it would have to be, here's the thing, you have to control heroin enemas. You cannot permit that to be done at home. And so the state could provide the heroin and the enemas, and then they could hire a special cadre of people who perform that service, a government enema specialist for Hollywood. Just try it as an experiment, see what kind of revenue comes in the name of Islam today. We then have his cohort, the pedantic narcissist Brian Williams, who thinks he's so handsome and so wonderful, pulling a Dan Rather, saying that he was a war hero, took fire, did this on the Letterman show, and goofball Letterman ate it up, as you would expect from a cohort of his own. But I remind you, years ago, Dan Rather was fired for a very similar incident. He wasn't trying to make himself into a war hero. He smeared President Bush. And that Dan Rather incident led to the firing of Dan Rather by CBS because they realized their whole network could do a Chernobyl, could be melted down. Now, I don't know if NBC is still run with any degree of integrity when you think of a guy like Phil Griffin running rampant, creating such mayhem at MSNBC with the likes of the vermin that he puts on the air on that network. I don't think there are going to be repercussions for Brian Williams, frankly. I think the good old days of 2003 are long behind us, and I think that, how shall I say it, there are lowlifes and high places everywhere. Does that work for you, Robert? There are lowlifes and high places everywhere, whether it be the White House or the media. This is what we, the people, are dealing with. When I come back, we'll play Obama smearing Christianity and Brian Williams smearing the military. Right here on the Savage Nation.